بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of Halqah Thaniyah, lesson 15 about Itlaq. After introducing Qarinatul Hikmah, Ayatollah Sa'd Rahmatullah Alayh mentions an objection and replies. Al-i'tiradu ala Qarinatul Hikmah. There is a kind of objection on Qarinatul Hikmah. What is the objection? The objection is that according to the idea of Qarinatul Hikmah, it means that the speech is made without mentioning muqayyad and without mentioning mutlaq, or without specifying muqayyad, without specifying that it is mutlaq. Then how can we say this is al-iradatul jaddiyah, this itlaq is meant seriously by the speaker? If it is used just as a general concept without, say, for example, a'atiq raqabatan, free a slave. And according to idea of Qarinatul Hikmah, it means just a slave, even not a slave in general, not a slave bishaklan mutlaq, and not a specific slave. So to be a specific or not a specific is not mentioned. So then how you can say that al-iradatul jaddiyah is itlaq? Okay? And the answer is, I think, clear, although it takes more than half a page to explain. But the answer is, when we say, for example, a'tiq raqabatan, or for example, bring me water, if the speaker meant a specific raqaba or a specific water, he would have mentioned an additional point. Yeah, like mu'mina or cold water. So he would have mentioned ghaid to make it a specific. But now that he didn't mean a specific, he left it. And from this we understand that it is not a specific, it is mutlaq. So we don't need to say it is mutlaq. We need to say it. If we say it, it becomes But just the fact that we were able to say something specific and we didn't make it a specific, it means that it is mutlaq. So it's not ambiguous. He can rely on, pardon? Yeah, provided that other conditions are there. So he was maqamul bayan and he was able to mention qaid, but he didn't mention it. Yeah? So, the speaker is a wise person. He knows that if he means something specific, he should mention. But if he doesn't mean something specific, he can just leave it and people would understand that it is not specific. We cannot say it is ambiguous. If it was ambiguous, then he had to say something. But he can rely on our common sense. That when we say bring water, and I am not adding any qaid to it, it means any water. I don't need to say bring any water. If I say bring any water, it becomes yeah? If I say, for example, أعتق أي رقبة or أية رقبة إيتني بأي نوع من الماء. Okay, this becomes means you have mentioned a term or a phrase that shows generality. But in itlaq, just we leave it as kind of general, and the listener would understand. So, according to my book, is page 82. Al-i'tirad ala qarinat al-hikmah. Objection on what? Qarinat al-hikmah. وقد يعترض على قرينة الحكمة هذه. It is sometimes objected on قرينة الحكمة بأن اللفظ إذا لم يكن يدل بالوضع إلا على الطبيعة المحفوظة في ضمن المقيد والمطلق معا فلا دل على الإطلاق كما لا دل على التقييد. Sometimes it is objected that if lafz, the term, is not indicating by designation except tabi'ah, the general notion, which is there in muqayyad and in mutlaq. Yeah, water, mahiyya of water is there, whether it is mutlaq or muqayyad. So if we say water just means mahiyya of water, فلا دل على الإطلاق كما لا دل على التقييد, then it means that this lafz doesn't indicate a specific water, but also doesn't indicate general water. Generality is not indicated. Generality is not understood from lafz. ما أن أحدهما ثابت في المراد الجدي جزما. Why? That one of them definitely must be meant in the serious meaning of a speaker. Because لأن موضوع الحكم في المراد الجدي, because the subject of the ruling in what the speaker seriously meant is either mutlaq or muqayyad. But if you say here muqayyad is not mentioned because there is no qaid, mutlaq also is not mentioned because there is no qaid for itlaq, so it becomes ambiguous. It means that he has not clarified what he meant. وهذا يعني أنه على أي حال لم يبين تمام مراده بخطابه. This means that in any case the speaker has not clarified what he completely meant. ولا معين حينئذ لافتراض الإطلاق في مقابل التقييد. And there is nothing to indicate and identify itlaq opposite to taqeed. So we don't have any reason to say that he meant itlaq, because there is no indication in lafz for itlaq. The answer is, as I said, I repeat the answer, that yes, it is true that we don't have any lafz for itlaq. But the fact that no lafz for muqayyad is mentioned, we can understand that he meant mutlaq. This is enough. He doesn't need to say anything extra. وَيُمْكِنُ الْجَوَابِ عَلَى هَذَا الْإِعْتِرَاضِ. It is possible to reply to this objection بأن, in this way. No, we can say this answer. أن ذلك الظهور الحالي السياقي لا يعني سوى أن يكون كلامه وافيا بالدلالة على تمام ما وقع تحت لهذه من المعاني. This zuhur, which is hali, which is understood from condition and circumstances of the context, siyaq means context, hal means circumstance, condition. This zuhur is not understood from lafz. It's hali and siyaqi. لا يعني doesn't mean except سوى أن يكون كلامه وافيا بالدلالة على تمام ما وقع تحت لهذه من المعاني. It means that his speech does not indicate adequately except whatever is falling under the terms. بحيث لا يكون هناك معنى لاحظ ملحوظ. Yeah? There is no meaning that he considered, al-mutakallim, the speaker, considered وَلَمْ يَأْتِ بِمَا يَدُلَّ عَلَيْهِ. He didn't mean anything for which he didn't mention a term. This is enough for us. Yeah? If we accept, he didn't mean anything for which he didn't put any indicator. So, if he had meant ghaid, he should have put indicator. So the fact that he has not put indicator for taqeed means he didn't mean taqeed. Then automatically this implies that it is mutlaq. So you don't need to say for taqeed there must be indicator, for itlaq also there must be indicator. Yes. لا أن كل ما لم يلحظه لا بد أن يأتي بما يدل على عدم الحظ. We say whatever he considered, he should bring indicator. Not that whatever he also didn't consider, he should say that I didn't consider this. لا أن كل ما لم يلحظه, not that anything that he didn't consider, لا بد أن يأتي بما يدل على عدم الحظ. He has to bring something which says he didn't consider it. So I could have considered maybe one thing, two things, and I can bring indicator. But maybe I don't consider thousands of things. How can you expect me to bring thousands of indicators that I didn't mean this, I didn't mean this, I didn't mean this? No. For those specificities that you mean, you should bring them. But the rest is too large. Yeah? Is it clear? فإن ذلك مما لا يقتضيه الظهور الحالي السياقي. This, that for anything that he didn't consider, he should mention an indicator, is not what ظهور حالي السياقي requires. ظهور al-hali as-siyaqi means zuhur, which is understood from circumstances, from the context. وعليه فإذا كان المتكلم قد أراد المقيد ما أنه لم ينصب قرينة على القيد. So, if the speaker had meant a specific, but without putting qarina, evidence for that, is it permissible? No. You cannot mean a specific and don't mention anything. إذا كان المتكلم قد أراد المقيد. If the speaker had meant a specific, for example, رقبية مؤمنة, but he has not put any qarina for this, nothing to indicate that iman was a condition. فهذا يعني, this means وقوع أمر, فهذا يعني وقوع أمر تحت اللحاظ, something is considered زائدا على الطبيعة, more than just the mahiyya of a slave, وهو تقيدها بالقيد, and that is to be specifically mu'min, for example. لأن المقيد يتميز باللحاظ ظاهر, because muqayyad needs a second additional consideration. So he has meant something extra to mahiyya, something additional to being raqaba or additional to being water, but لا يوجد في الكلام ما يبين هذا التقييد الذي وقع تحت اللحاظ. But there is nothing in the text that indicates this extra thing that he has considered. إذا كان. Is it clear? Okay. وإذا كان المتكلم قد أراد المطلق. Okay. So if it was مقيد and he has not mentioned the problem, but if he meant مطلق, there is no problem. فهذا لا يعني وقوع شيء تحت اللحاظ. This doesn't mean that anything extra has been considered زائدا على الطبيعة, additional to the mahiyya. لأن الإطلاق, as we said before, عبارة عن عدم اللحاظ القيد. إطلاق means that there is no قيد considered. فصح أن يقال. So it is correct to say إن المتكلم لو كان قد أراد المقيد لما كان مبينا لتمام مرامه. It is correct to say it like this. This is our argument for qarinatul hikmah. We say, if the speaker had meant muqayyad, he has not indicated, he has not clarified completely or complete meaning of what he wants. Yeah? لأن القيد واقع تحت اللفظ, because قيد is something which is considered. And he has not brought it. وليس مدلولا لللفظ. So he has mentioned a sentence, for example, in which there is no qaid. If he had meant qaid, he has not explained it. But إذا كان مراده المطلق. But if he didn't mean مقيد, he meant مطلق, فقد بين تمام ما وقع تحت اللحاظ. So he has explained everything that he was considering. Why? Because itlaq is not something additional. Just the fact that you mentioned mahiyya is itlaq. If you just mean mahiyya, it's itlaq. If you mean muqayyad, you have to indicate. وَإِذَا كَانَ مُرَادُهُ الْمُطْلَقِ فَقَدْ بَيَّنَ تَمَامَ مَا وَقَعَ تَحْتَهُ. But if he had meant mutlaq, he has explained everything that he had considered. لأن النفس الإطلاق ليس واقعا تحت اللحاظ. Because itlaq was not considered. بل هو عدم اللحاظ القيد الزائد. Itlaq means that you don't want additional specificity. Okay? I say bring me water. I don't say bring me water which is mutlaq. Yeah? So just the fact that I say water, it's enough. But if I say cold water, I need to mention cold. So it's not that you say, okay, if you mean cold water, you have to say cold. If you don't mean muqayyad, you have to say mutlaq water. No, we don't need to say mutlaq water. Just the fact that we say water is enough. Okay. وَنَسْتَخْلِصُ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. We can come to this conclusion as a kind of summary. Yeah? نَسْتَخْلِص means khulus. Yeah, means the core and the pure without any addition. Yeah. وَنَسْتَخْلِصُ مِنْ ذَلِكَ أَنَّنَا بِتَوَسُّطِ قَرِينَةِ الْحِكْمَةِ نُثْبِتُ الْإِطْلَاقِ. With the help of qarinatul hikmah, we prove itlaq. وَنَسْتَغْنِي بِذَلِكَ عَنْ إِثْبَاتِهِ بِالدَّلَالَةِ الْوَضْعِيَّةِ. And with this, we don't have any need. We are free. Istighna means free from need. Yeah? So, with qarinatul hikmah, then we have no need to prove it with dalalat waz'iyya. Okay? Dalalat waz'iyya is for alfaz. So we didn't need to have any term to indicate itlaq. على عن طريق أخذه قيدا في المعنى الموضوع له اللفظ. From which way? How do you want to? If we needed, if we had need, we had to make itlaq like a qaid as a condition. We have to say water means general water. And then we had to say, okay, if the speaker said, bring me ma'a mutlaq, so mutlaq is for ihtiraz from muqayyad, so he doesn't mean muqayyad. Remember we had qaida to ihtiraziyat al-quyud. So there is a big difference. Now this is the next paragraph. If itlaq was understood from text with dalalat waz'iyya, like for example, if I say a'tiq ayya raqabah, akrim ayya alim, ayya raqabah, any. If I mentioned ay or any, okay, this is not mutlaq, this is because I have something in the text which indicates generality. And we should suppose that when someone says any, he means any. Yeah? Because asl is ihtiraziyatul quyud. It means that he is avoiding something like a specific. But in the case of mutlaq, no. We don't have something like any or ayyu. No qaid is mentioned, so we understand that he must have meant not muqayyad, means mutlaq. Now, the question is, what's the difference between itlaq being understood from lafz or from context? What is the difference between saying a'tiq ayyata raqabah, which includes all, and say a'tiq raqabatan, which again includes all? But what's the difference? The difference is very important. If generality was understood from a text, from a term, from something which has dalalat waz'iyya, then you would go by it unless there is another thing that overrides. But if generality is understood from qarinatul hikmah, sometimes qarinatul hikmah cannot be put together. For example, maybe this person was not in maqam bayan. Maybe there was taqiyya. Maybe, for example, this person was in rush, hurry, couldn't mention all the details, So he was not meaning everything, every detail. So, for itlaq to be understood from muqaddamatul hikmah, you need certain conditions, and if they are not all together, this itlaq is not formed. But when it is from dalalat waz'iyya, as soon as lafz is mentioned, itlaq is formed. Okay? لكن يبقى هناك فارق عملي بين إثبات الإطلاق بقرينة الحكمة وإثباته بالدلالة الوضعية وتطبيق قاعدة احترازية القيود. A practical distinction remains between proving إطلاق with قرينة الحكمة and proving إطلاق with دلالة وضعية and with application of the rule of احترازية القيود, which we have discussed before. احترازية القيود means when something is mentioned, we should suppose that it is meant to exclude something. Not it is for example, emphasis. If Mawla says, bring me cold water, we should assume that cold is to exclude not cold. This is the first assumption. You cannot say, no, I thought this is mustahab. Yeah? Or for example, I thought he means even cold is okay. No. The first assumption is when a qaid is mentioned, it is for ihtiraz, means to avoid, to exclude certain types. So there is a practical difference between itlaq being understood from muqaddamatul hikmah or itlaq being understood from something which is mentioned and has dalalat waz'i based on ihtiraziyatul quyud. هذا الفارق العملي يظهر في حالة اكتناف الكلام بملابسات معينة. This practical distinction emerges when the speech is surrounded with certain mulabasat, means like certain not additional thing. Mulabasa means things that happen on the side of something. Okay? If there are certain circumstances or certain details that because of that تفقده الظهور السياقي, because of that this cannot have zuhur from context. Like for example, it's taqiyya, or he has no time, he's in rush. Certain circumstances can happen that we cannot apply qarinatul hikmah. الظهور السياقي الذي تعتمد عليه قرينة الحكمة. That zuhur of context, which qarinatul hikmah depends on, that is not available here. فلا يعود لحال المتكلم ظهور. If I just tell you, we don't know he is in maqam bayan or not, that's enough to suspend qarinatul hikmah. Just even if you have doubt, you cannot, because إذا جاء الاحتمال بطل الاستدلال. But if it was understood from lafz, then we have to go by lafz unless something stronger is to stop us. It must be qarina bigger, stronger. فلا يعود لحال المتكلم ظهور في أنه في مقام بيان تمام مراده الجدي بكلامه. So there would be no zuhur in the condition of the speaker that he wants to explain all serious meaning by his word. أمكن أن يكون في مقام بيان بعضه. Maybe he wants to say some of the things now and some of the things later. So it's not that he meant water is enough, any kind of water. He just now wanted to say water is needed. And later he wants to say the conditions. ففي هذه الحالة لا تتم قرينة الحكمة. In this situation, in this condition, قرينة الحكمة is not complete. لبطنان الظهور الذي تعتمد عليه. Because zuhur, which depends on, qarinatul hikmah depends on it, the zuhur that qarinatul hikmah depends on it is damaged here. فلا يمكن إثبات الإطلاق لمن يستعمل قرينة الحكمة لإثباته. We cannot prove itlaq for those who use qarinatul hikmah for proving itlaq. So any person who is using qarinatul hikmah for proving itlaq here becomes unable to prove itlaq, because we are not sure that he wanted to say everything. وَخِلَافًا لِذَلِكَ, but different from this is those who don't apply qarinatul hikmah. They use dalalat waz'i, something from the text. وخلافا لذلك من يثبت الإطلاق بالدلالة الوضعية. Those that prove إطلاق بالدلالة الوضعية and with تطبيق قاعدة احترازية القيود, and applying the rule of احترازية القيود. So something is mentioned as قيد, but this قيد is to indicate إطلاق. So there is additional term to say إطلاق, and we should suppose that إطلاق is meant. Itlaq is to exclude تقييد. فإن بإمكانه أن يثبت الإطلاق في هذه الحالة أيضا. If someone establishes إطلاق through لفظ ودلالة وضعي, then even when we have doubt whether he was in مقام بيان everything or not, still we can say إطلاق is there. فإن بإمكانه أن يثبت الإطلاق في هذه الحالة أيضا. He can prove إطلاق even in this condition. Why? لأن الظهور الذي تعتمد عليه هذه القاعدة غير الظهور الذي تعتمد عليه قرينة الحكمة كما عرفنا سابقا. Because ظهور that قاعدة احترازية القعود depends on is ظهور لفظ. And this is different from ظهور which مقدمات الحكمة depend on, because that is ظهور which is intellectually understood. It is not لفظي, it is لبي. وهو ثابت على أي حال. And ظهور which is from لفظ for قاعدة احترازية القعود is there. This ظهور which we need for مقدمات الحكمة can only be there when certain things are there. في مقام البيان, and details are possible to be mentioned, but he has not mentioned. So certain things should be together. Okay, Alhamdulillah, this finished. Now we have few quick things. One, إطلاق, yes. لا تقرب هذه الشجرة. That's another issue. That is how you interpret this prohibition. Is this prohibition Mawlavi or Irshadi? If it is Mawlavi, it means he has committed sin. If it is Irshadi, it means that Allah gave him advice that if you do this, fatashqa, you would suffer. Like for example, if doctor tells you, don't take this food, and if you take, okay, there will be bad consequence. There is no additional punishment. Okay? Of course, this is different from the point that we should protect our health. But I'm saying that when doctor, engineer, for example, an engineer tells you, don't drive it in this way. Your car will be soon broken down. Okay, if you do it, you have not done haram. Yeah? You have missed your interest. Of course, wasting your money can be haram, but that's another issue. The garage man has no authority that you say, okay, if you disobey him, becomes sin. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has authority, but he has different shu'un. He has different positions. Sometimes he talks to us as a master. Sometimes he talks to us as an expert who gives us advice. It's irshad. Yeah? Al-Itlaq al-Shomali wal-Badali. Itlaq is divided into two parts. This is a very good discussion and of course not difficult to understand. You know, sometimes I say, La takdhib. Don't tell lies. Means any lie should be avoided. This Shomali. It includes any lie. But sometimes I say Salli. What does it mean Salli? Does it mean that you have to bring any kind of salat? Or it means any salat as alternative? Badali. Either say your salat here or there, you know, in this place, that place, beginning of time, middle of time, you know, make it short, make it long. So, for command, It is enough you bring one instance. You have obeyed Saleh even if you bring one proper salat. But la takdhib, you cannot obey it unless you avoid all lies. You cannot say, I could say 10 lies, I didn't say one of them, so I obeyed la takdhib. Pardon?
You bring just one, that's just
yes. So in order to obey la takdhib, you must not bring any lie. Even one single lie is problematic. But if you are obeying a command, even one instance can be enough. And this is why we say that is Shomali, means inclusive. This is Badali, means as alternative. What is the reason? The reason is very simple point that we learn in logic and philosophy. That at-tabi'ah, mahiyya, tabi'ah, توجد بوجود فرد واحد. Any mahiyya comes to existence if one case exists. If you want to have in the world mahiyya of elephant, one elephant is enough. But mahiyya tan'adimu if all cases are not there. Yeah? So if you have one elephant, we have mahiyya of elephant. But if you want to have no elephant, no mahiyya of elephant, so any kind of elephant must not be there. If you want to have a human being, it's enough to have man, woman, child, any human being. If there is there, we have insan. But if you don't want to have insan in this room, you must not have men, women, children, any person. You know? So, ماهية توجد بوجود فرد واحد وتنعدم بانعدام جميع الأفراد. So, in Amr, because we say Saleh, we want Salat, one Salat is enough. If I bring one Salat, I have obeyed. I have done imtithal. Imtithal, you know, means obey. But if I am told, La takdhib, means no lie. Or for example, La tashrab al-khamr. So one has to avoid any drinking of khamr. Otherwise, if he drinks even one khamr or once, he has not obeyed. Okay? Al-Itlaq al-Shomali wal-Badali. Shomul means inclusion, pardon? Yes. Badal as alternative. Either this or that, you know. ثم إن الإطلاق الثابت بقرينة الحكمة تارة يكون شموليا أي مقتضيا لاستيعاب الحكم لتمام أفراد الطبيعة وأخرى يكون بدليا. إطلاق, which is established with قرينة الحكمة, is sometimes شمولي, means it requires that the hukm would include and embrace all examples, all instances of mahiyya. But ukhra means taratan ukhra. But sometimes it is badali, yakunu badaliya, as alternative. يكفي في امتثال الحكم المجعول فيه إيجاد أحد الأفراد. When it is badali, if you bring one case is enough. مثال الأول for شمولي. Yeah, مثال الأول means شمولي. إطلاق الكذب في لا تكذب. لا تكذب has إطلاق. It's not about a specific case. And it is شمولي, means any case has to be, any lies should be avoided. But for badali, إطلاق الصلاة في صلى. Saleh is mutlaq, but it's badali. You can say your prayer in different places, yeah, different legs, different speed. Valid prayer, but still there are many ways to do it, and many, for example, maybe between Fajr and sunrise, you could say 100 prayer or 50 prayer. One of them is enough, badali, either this or that. But when we say لا تكذب, لا تشرب الخمر, لا تغتاب, لا تجسسوا, you have to avoid all of them. Yes. Yeah. Another thing is al-Itlaq al-Afradi wal-Ahwali. Sometimes generality is with respect to individuals, sometimes generality is with respect to circumstances. I say atiq raqabatan, means any fard, any individual who is raqaba is enough. Sometimes it is ahwali, circumstances. For example, I say atiq raqabatan, and I mean whether this raqaba is freed in the morning or evening, or this raqaba is, for example, expensive or not expensive. So sometimes itlaq is with respect to individuals, sometimes it is with respect to circumstances. Al-itlaqu taratan yakunu afradiyan wa ukhra yakunu ahwaliyan. Itlaq is sometimes based on individuals, you can say individualistic, and sometimes is circumstantial. المقصود بالإطلاق الأفرادي أن يكون للمعنى أفراد. That meaning has individuals, فيثبت بقرينة الحكمة أنه لم يرد به بعض الأفراد, or لم يرد. يرد means متكلم, يرد is مجهول. No specific individual is meant. It's not that certain are meant, not others. Any individual that falls under that title can do the job for us. But al-maqsood bil-itlaq al-ahwali an yakuna lil-ma'na ahwalu. Here the focus is not on individuals, on circumstances. Like what? For example, fi asma'il a'lam. Isma alam, like proper nouns. When I say Akram Zaidan, Zaid has no afrad, it is one person. But when I say Akram Zaidan, means no matter in which circumstances. So it is ahwali. فإن مدلول كلمة زيد وإن لم يكن له أفراد. Although it doesn't have individuals, ولكن له أحوال متعددة. It has different circumstances. When he is standing, when he is sitting, when he is in the morning, when he is in the evening, when he is tired, when he is not tired, yeah? فيثبت بقرينة الحكمة أنه لم يرد به حال دون حال. So Zayd doesn't have afrad, but has different circumstances. With the help of qarinatul hikmah, we say if Mawla said Akram Zaydan, he meant in any circumstances. The main thing is that you should honor Zayd. Okay, I think we stop here, and inshallah we continue next session. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.